gets that.
Welcome everyone. I'm going to be privileged today to show you the new Cascadia. You kind of wonder, you know, we have the classic Cascadia, now we have the new Cascadia. One thing people don't realize is that the new Cascadia actually has more new stuff on it than what the original Cascadia had back when we started it. We have all new frame rails. Basically, the only thing that's the same is the rear suspension, because we have a new lubricating system for our rear axles, so everything forward is new except for the cab shell. The cab shell is still the exact same cab shell as the classic Cascadia. But as you see, they put a lot of detail in that. So much detail that when you start back here, you see they have a 45-degree angle on this lip of the quarter fender. I mean, they went to every detail in this truck. So as we walk forward on this truck, I will just point out all the new features we have. So as we go forward, as you see, the mirrors are a little different. Better visibility, better aerodynamics. They changed how the door opens. When you look at this truck, driver comfort is one of the key things they went after. So I'm starting on the interior and then I'm going to walk around the rest of the truck. But anyway, they went after driver comfort. And one scenario I heard is, you know, this is not, a driver's just not camping for a week and then going home. He's living in this truck. So what can we do to make this driver friendly? So we went with the cockpit design. In the cockpit design, when you sit in this truck, and I got a privilege to drive it several times down the road, you can see your dash much better than the old Cascadia. The way you go through the instrument clusters, there's so many more things the driver can do to provide him comfort, peace of mind, and that all ties into the virtual technician, the connectivity of this truck. But as you swing back into the bunk, and when you get a chance, please jump back in the bunk and just see how everything's laid out. They actually worked with Boeing on all the compartments in the truck, and they actually have them tilted back so your product doesn't move out. So as you look through this truck, they got together with a team of drivers from Run Smart that came in the very beginning to look at driver comfort, and I tell you, it has paid off. You look at the top bunk, you know, for how many years guys had to get in that back bunk and they had to be a monkey to climb up and in and out of it. Now they got a nice ladder that folds out, pulls down. So as you just go through this truck, and I've talked to drivers now that have been driving the Cascadia, and the new Cascadia, they said they just can't get over the comfort. And the other thing is they worked with 3M on the insulation package of this truck, and they have actually made it a lot quieter than the old truck. And I've had this the old classic Cascadia into many a customer, and they couldn't believe. They say this is the quietest truck in their fleet, and now this one's even quieter. You will see as we're looking here through the door, it's one-piece windshield, and what they did for that is visibility and aerodynamics. And I tell you, the other really nice thing is when you're driving this truck in the rain, you have a lot more wiper clearance, so you can see definitely better out of this truck as you're driving down the road. But a big thing is when you're up in there closing those cabinets, and what they worked with Boeing, it is a solid cabinet. You don't hear the shaking in there. The classic Cascadia was good, but you could hear some jiggling back in the cabinets. And this thing is very quiet. Just as we finish up here inside the cab, we're going to go working around the front as well and talk about our Detroit Assurance System. And that's part of the connectivity, and as Paul was showing in the inside, you saw the lane guidance system, and they are all tied together with the Detroit Assurance System. And where we are ahead of the game on the Detroit Assurance is we can actually pick up humans walking, and we will slow down for them, and a parked object, we will stop. Our competition is trying to catch them. But I tell you, I experienced it. I was fortunate enough to go through some training to see how this system works. And the greatest thing is, you know, we have competitors out there that have great products, but this is our product. This is Daimler's product. So what I like to tell customers, when you walk into a customer that has, you know, he has one chassis, and then he has another engine, and now he has a whole different product on the front of his truck. So he's got all these different vendors on this truck. This is a Daimler product. You pull into that dealership, it makes everything easy. Whoever the service manager is, he knows if he has an issue, he's got one phone call to make to one Daimler rep to handle this whole truck, because we got the axles, everything. Transmission is complete Daimler. That is a huge selling point. And I tell you, working with the service directors from Daimler, it is a breeze working with them. A bunch of good guys that understand the trucking industry inside and out. So as we work on the collision mitigation system, we've been fortunate as I've had customers that seen their rear end hits go way down by using this product. So I recommend that this is the new product of the future. And right now in the new Cascadia, 68% of the new Cascadias are getting built with collision mitigation systems. You go back a couple years ago, I mean, you were at 10, 20%. So it's amazing how the industry is really adapting to this technology. So now as we're at the front of the truck looking at it, so now you look at the styling of the truck. So they made some hard lines like the auto industry, and what they found is with the aerodynamics, I mean, they actually did an aero test in there where they actually shot air up under the hood to see what that'll do. So they worked with fan on time, and when we get to popping the hood, you'll see that we have the radiators mounted to the engine. It is not mounted to the frame. And what they found is by closing all those tolerances, we are able to have less fan on time. Fan on time, 30 horsepower. And every driver went through horsepower. So it's horsepower and fuel every time that fan goes on. So they've been very fortunate on that. Just with they redesigned the air cleaner. So we'll get under the hood. So if we could pop the hood and we'll get under that.